Shape Up, where we are taking a look at our summer, taking a look at our health, and taking a look at the choices that we make all summer long as we get into a busy season. So we have a really exciting lineup tonight for our client support. And I love the way that this works, because basically this works that we're all over the country. We're all focusing on learning the same habits of health from Dr. Anderson and learning how to make a fundamental shift in our thinking in regards to the three main areas of our health: our body, our mind, and our financial life. So I am really excited to share with you what's going to be happening here tonight. And hi, everyone who's coming on the line to join us. What you're going to do in the chat bar this evening is, if you have a summer tip or if you have a summer struggle that you would like help with, put it in the chat bar. And just so you guys kind of know what's going on tonight, we are going to be hearing from some clients that Chris has been working with. And a lot of you know Chris because he is a really good cheerleader to us, and he's really been great in teaching us about non-scale victories. And the couple that you're going to meet tonight is Jay and Nicole. Hi, guys. I love that map behind you. That's so cool. You know, recently I've had a chance to get to know them a little bit better and to see why they decided to get healthy again this time around, because they tried before, and I loved that part of their story, and I could relate with it too. And many of you are going to be able to have somebody that will come to mind tonight because of their story. So they got at it again. They started working with Chris. We're going to hear from them in a moment. We are also going to hear from, let's see, we're going to hear from Doris, and Doris is our kind of our team captain in the summer game challenge that we have that's coming up. So she's going to talk just a little bit about the challenge and give some details on that. And then in a few moments, we're going to go out to a garden in Eugene, Oregon. Gardening is a habit of health, and so we're going to see how to transform a small space into a garden. And this is what she's eating for her lean and green every night. So. All right, so are we ready to get started, everybody? Are you ready to get started in week 2, summer shape up tips? All right, let's get going. We are cruising all the way out to Apache Junction, Arizona, and Chris is going to introduce us to Jay and Nicole. And remember, this is clapping in sign language, and we are going to do it big time tonight because these guys, this is their first time ever talking on a call like this. And so we're recording it. We'll be able to share this later on. And for those of you who can't be with us live tonight, we'll get this recording out to you, and we appreciate you watching it in the future. So, Chris, would you give us a little bit of an introduction to who we're going to be hearing from, what changes and growth you see in them, and introduce us to Jay and Nicole?
Absolutely. Thank you, Elisa. So I am honored to introduce someone who has been a mentor and a friend to me since I was 16 years old. I'm 32, and Jay has effectively known me half of my life. He was my first boss. I worked at a video game store when I was 16, and he was my first boss. He hired me on accident, I think, but it went pretty well. He and I developed a pretty close bond, and we lost touch for about the last decade. And last year, I was getting coffee, ran into him, and kind of took it from there. So he saw a massive transformation that I made myself and my health in my life. And I asked him to join me. And he and his beautiful wife, who I hadn't met yet, Nicole, and she's pretty fantastic too. We got together and we've gone through a bit of a journey, but it's been a lot of fun, which is pretty fantastic. So I take you all the way out to Apache Junction, and the best background of any of our screens, they literally have the world right at their back. So Jay and Nicole.
You want to start?
Sure.
Okay.
Well, my story starts a long time ago. I realized when I was sharing a little bit with Alyssa that I didn't go back far enough. About when I was a young child, I did a program. My mom put me on a program, but then about 8 years ago, I had gastric bypass surgery. And as if you've ever gone through that process or know someone who has, you would know that they put you through rigorous psychological evaluations and physical. And I knew how to talk that talk and get through all of that without a problem. I knew what I was supposed to do and got through that. took off about 150 pounds, but then over the last 5 years or so after that surgery, I gained at least 50 of that back. And then I decided to try a center-based program, and it didn't work out for me. And then I tried joining with Chris about a year ago, and it was just it was a disastrous time in my life. I had been laid off. We had bought a new house, right, and moved into it at that exact same time. We were just getting back from a big vacation. We had another family move in with us who needed a place to stay. There was so much happening in our lives that wasn't necessarily positive, that it was hard to focus on the program in its entirety. And Jay offers up some unique challenges.
I've got, unique challenges. I'm very picky. And Nicole, trying to be the great wife that she is, would make these wonderful lean and green meals that I could not force myself to eat. Or I would try to force myself to eat, and it became a struggle. Dinner time became a big struggle for us, and it became a relationship issue. And so we stopped the program just so that we could keep our relationship. And we stopped it for almost a year.
And then we picked it up, about 6 weeks ago or so, 7 weeks ago, and with a whole different mindset. And that's the biggest part of how we've been able to be successful. If you guys are all on Unite to Wellness Facebook page, you'll surely see my copious amount of words that I share, because I feel I need to get an outlet. I need to share my feelings because you're all my accountability. And if I can be real and honest to you all, then I know that I can be real and honest with myself. And so I'm not just walking or talking that talk anymore. Actually, I've learned to walk the walk. And, I find that the mental changes that have happened as a result have been far greater and of more value than the weight loss, although it's been plus to have the weight loss as well.
Absolutely. It's been as much a mental growth as it has been a weight loss.
So you guys, thank you so much for sharing your story. And there's so many good nuggets in there, isn't there, everyone? There's so many things that I'm sure we can all relate with, or we know somebody who has been where you're at. And a couple things that I just was curious about. What do you think it was that made that mental shift for you guys? Because you said that a couple times, that you made a mental shift. Before you used to do a diet, and you guys told me, everybody knows if you do the Medifast diet, you will lose your weight. But the transformation happens when what you shared with us was when you made that shift in your mindset. So what are some couple top tips that you guys would give to other couples and other families that are going to be watching this either tonight live with us or in the future?
Well, for both of us, it's different. We both had to make our own mental shifts. For myself, it finally came down to I desired my goal weight more than I desired my favorite foods. I loved to eat. My food was something I just loved to do. And I decided mentally that my weight I needed to bring it down. For those that have seen my story before, my father died at 60 of a heart attack. His father died at 60 of a heart attack. And I was headed down that same road, and I needed to change that. And so mentally, I needed to get my weight down more than I craved the food.
For me, a little bit of that. I mean, initially, I was focused on the health benefits. I had type 2 but diabetes. My natural dad passed away earlier than he should have as a result of complications related to his weight. My adopted dad passed away suddenly of a heart attack, again related to his weight and his health. my stepdad, who is going through heart disease himself, again, he's overweight. I know the consequences of not taking care of yourself, but that wasn't enough for me. I think for me, it just clicked. I decided that I love spending time with my family. And when I went to the doctor one day and realized that my blood sugars were out of control and I wasn't going to be able to spend time with my family in a quality manner if I kept up, and my family was my motivating factor, that started shifting. But the mind shift of my personal self-esteem has been the biggest piece. And I think Chris and Jay can attest, I'm really hard on myself, and I'm not very nice to myself sometimes. And I think us women aren't always very nice to ourselves. Mm-hmm. And that's one of the biggest battles. But the turning point for me was last Sunday when I put on a dress and looked at the mirror, and not only did the dress fit me better, but I was like, wow, I'm kind of pretty, and okay, I can do this. And that was a big deal. And it realized, hey, if I can feel pretty this one time, maybe I can feel pretty again. And that's a big motivating factor.
That is so awesome. Thank you. We really appreciate your story. Does anybody have any questions for them? If you do, you can go ahead and unmute yourself. All right. Okay, we are going to move along, and we are going to hear from Doris. And Doris is going to show us another way that some people like to learn the Habits of Health system. So there's lots of ways. People can listen to the recorded calls on their computer, right? You can listen to a recorded call while you're driving in your car back and forth to the lakes and the pool all summer long. Or you can play this healthy game with us. The concept behind the game is we take this information, and Doris said something to me yesterday that was like clicked for me. She said, a lot of people don't get in these books every day. We know it'll change your life if you start learning these tips, but the game takes these tips and puts them into an application that you play on your computer or on your phone. And Doris and I are she's gonna share, and if we have any questions about that, we'll take time to answer them. But it's just one of the ways, Doris, isn't it, that that people choose to get healthier is by playing this game.
Yeah, actually, Angie and I were talking to a client today, and I said, hey, have you heard about the games? No, Angie didn't tell her about the games. But so I kind of pushed it in there a little bit because you know what? We have busy lives. Everybody has a busy life. Mm-hmm. The game actually, I mean, for me, it takes 5 minutes. I go in and I learn something about health. It could be sleep. It could be, hey, did you know eating 6 times a day is great for you? Like just little tidbits, and it's usually about 2 minutes long of a little video that they show us on the challenge. And what's fun is that it's a game. And you could play with your spouse, and you could say, hey, who's going to get the most points today? Who's going to invite somebody and get points for that? And hey, who's going to lose the 4%? Or usually with the challenge, I've maintained the whole time. But with people coming in, hey, 4% challenge is awesome. I mean, you get motivated, and there's people in the challenge with you that are helping you along the path because they're posting something about maybe a happy giggle that they had. So it's kind of like, now Jay, and what was your name? I'm so sorry.
Nicole,
it's kind of like when she, put on her dress and, she's like, oh, it was a happy giggle. And that's what we have all the time, our happy giggles, right? So any little thing, like every week, something that we do is like, you know what? Awesome. I can't believe I just did that. And maybe I can't believe I just fit into that. I can't believe that's too big for me. What the heck? So just stuff like that is awesome. So with this challenge, let me show you, let me share my screen a little bit. And with this challenge right here, you go in, and it's called the Meltdown Challenge. Whoever invited you to this call, is in a challenge possibly. And so they can invite you to the challenge. And what happens is you go in and you click in and you put Summer Shape Up. I've been on so many challenges. I've got a ton on here. So I have to click into that to get into the Summer Shape Up challenge, which has, oh, it just went up to 1,200. There was like 1,198.
Nice.
So 1,200 challengers, and 4% weight loss because of the summertime. We're just going to do a 4-week challenge, I'm guessing, because there's a lot of people that are busy. But even in the summertime, we need a challenge because there's barbecues, there's everything going on, and they're going to talk about that in the challenge. So it will help you in that perspective. But what happens is, hey, you're gonna pay $20 or $24 to get in. But if you get your points and if you hit your goal, you're gonna get the money back. I basically, every time I do the challenge, I get money back and a little bit more. But I learn too. So it's not even about that. Like, I don't even have to pay money every time I go in, because I'll just go into every challenge and learn and learn and learn more, and it's free for me now. So,
you know, one thing that I really appreciated you saying is that sometimes people don't realize that as coaches, we don't make money off people joining the challenges. There's no money in it for us. The goal is that we all win by working towards the same thing. We're building a sense of community by playing this game together because we're learning the same tips and tools. We're not in it alone. So many times we try to isolate ourselves. So this is a game that you can actually take if you guys work at a job. Doris, don't you think that they could get a team at their job?
Oh yeah, like all these jobs, everybody that has a job that has a lot of people in it, usually they're doing a health challenge, right? Like, yeah, I have heard about that all the time. And so, hey, get your coworkers in there. Yeah, and get them to learn about health. Like, because what is there to lose? There's nothing to lose. There's only stuff to gain. Yeah. So, in learning about health, all you can do is gain.
That really is true. Can you stop screen share? I'm going to take a minute to show them the app. So, you know, we're constantly on the goes. Ew. Some of us are on the goes. But this app that you can play on your phone, it looks like a little blue scale. It's called Meltdown Challenge. And all of us have our smartphones with us handy all the time. And so you can log in and play this game from the app. So I know I have to weigh in starting June 11th. And then here's the team wall. So I love it when I see everybody in here. Now, one thing I want to mention is as health coaches, sometimes we'll play the game, sometimes we don't. If we decide not to play, our team can still play with our team because we're all our team, right? We're all on the same journey. So a lot of what we've heard tonight, especially from Jay and Nicole, was that when they started tapping into that community and they started tapping into that Facebook page, that something starts to shift and you realize that you're not in it alone, Doris, right? Like that's what this game is about.
Oh yeah, with Angie, when I was talking with her clients today, I said, you know, my sister might not join the challenge this time, but I have a room. Come in. Like I love, the more the merrier, really. But I love having other people in there and their input on the games and what the games are all about for them. Like what has helped them in their lives. Because this is really being a health coach and helping others move forward is really awesome. I mean, I think we get the most out of it when our clients are doing well and they're learning more and they're growing more and they're giving their input. It helps us too. So, you know, I always say, hey, somebody come join in, and I would love to help you move forward too. I mean, we're all in this community together.
Yeah, that's right. That's a really good point that you made about, you know, some will, some won't, and it's okay either way. This is just one of the options of helping people get healthy. Now, a lot of you guys that are on here are on our 5-in-1 plan. And you don't have to be in order to play this game. So if you have people in your life that you think might enjoy it, but you thought that they had to be on the program, they don't have to be. They're going to be learning the habits of health. And there's some menus that they can print off in there. People find that resource really great. And it's a good way to introduce them to this awesome family that we have right here that we're all staring at on our computer screens. Right, guys? Okay. So let's see, Judy Steckman, are you available to come off of mute tonight? I know you've been traveling. Hello, hello.
Hi.
Hi. So you guys, we're gonna, I want Judy to share. This is a fun tip for you. And Judy had shared something with me. Judy's been kind of like a little running buddy. We've helped a couple people together, and it's been fun to get to know her a little bit better. And she shared this app with me that has been so much fun. Girl, would you give these people just a little glimpse of this fun way that you helped me create a new habit?
I will. I can't remember where I heard about it, but I heard about this app on your smartphones. You can go on iPhone or a Droid, and it's called the Rock Clock. And it is The Rock. What's his real name?
Dwayne
Johnson.
Dwayne Johnson?
Dwayne Johnson, yeah.
He is awesome, by the way.
It's actually an alarm clock. It's supposed to help people that hit snooze all the time, but it also gives you motivational tips. I mean, you can put in how you want to be woken up. It can be soft, or it can be like Army, or and anyway, you put in goals. Like if you want to lose 10 pounds, I mean, he does tips all day about how to. It's just something fun. Another way. One of the things I was trying to do was to quit hitting the snooze when I was ready to get up. So somebody else was successful on it, so I tried it too. And I told Elisa about it. It's kind of funny, actually, to be woken up by the Rock.
You know, it really is. The way that this conversation came up between Judy and I is we had a conversation. I said, actually, research shows that by hitting the snooze button, you are actually weakening your self-esteem for the day. You're weakening your personal power the more times that you hit snooze. And there's research and studies that have been done to prove this. And I don't know where they are, so you can Google that, I'm sure. But the cool thing about the way that this app works is, or this community works, is I had told Judy that there's research that shows this tip. And so when she heard about this Rock Clock, she got it and told me about it. And I want to have you guys hear, just so you can have an idea of what my alarm clock sounds like, my Rock Clock. And it's going to go off here in about 10 seconds.
Good morning, sunshine. Yeah, that's what the Rock just said. Open your eyes up. Get your ass out of bed.
I didn't know he sang too.
He sings to me. He sings to me. Good morning, sunshine. So, you can't really push snooze too many times if you're having the Rock sing to you. So thank you, Judy. And that's just a fun, silly summer tip that I know at least a couple of you are going to be getting that app. So you can laugh if you want to. Right, Judy?
Yeah.
Okay, so I just thought I'd give you an update. It is 6:25. Leslie had sent me a message. She got stuck at work. She was going to show us her garden, so she'll bring that to us next week. She's a drug and alcohol counselor at Serenity Lane here in Eugene, and she does amazing work. And so, there's times where you just can't do it. So she'll be with us next week, so just a heads up on that. Few things in the chat bar that are really good tips. Joe Irwin, if you'd like to come up mute and share, you can. If you don't want to, you don't have to. But you had a really good tip, and several other people on the team thanked you for that tip.
Okay, what I discovered, because I've only been in the program a little over 4 weeks, and I had a barbecue on Memorial. day. And for me, it's always been about the food. Oh, the food, you know, it just consumes me. So what I decided to do is I had my 501s throughout the day, and when it became barbecue time, I was ready to have my lean and green, which was my burger that we grilled, and I had salad from the garden, and that was my, you know, and so what I decided to do is I just had conversation with people and got to find out how their summer is starting out, what they've been doing, what their kids have been doing. Just really building relationships on friends I already have, but really getting more into the relationship. And I was enjoying the weather. We had really nice weather out, and it was nice to be in the backyard and enjoy the weather. So when it came time for them to break out that angel food cake with berries and whipped cream, you know, I broke out my brownie.
Yes.
And I was fine with that. I just enjoyed conversation. And so you can do the same thing at weddings, because you probably haven't seen people for a long time, or graduations. It's a good time to get to know what people have been doing, and then they're going to be asking you about what you've been doing, and that's a great introduction.
Yeah, that really is. So thank you so much for that tip. That's such a good one. And really, it will set you apart, because if you're busy on your phone or busy with a plate of food, you can't connect with people in the same way. So thank you for that. All right, everybody, it is 6:28. We're going to take these last couple minutes and just thank all of you for being on tonight. Next week will be week 3 of the Summer Shape Up series. And if you would like to have a spotlight and want to share your story, let me know. Shoot me a private message. There's a whole team of us that are working together. And so if you want to have something great to share that you know other people could benefit from, reach out to your coach, and we'll get you a spotlight on here. So thank you all for being on here tonight. And Doris, we have had a request for you to post the link to the game invite, so we'll do that. Becky, we'll make sure you have that if this call closes in time. And I just want to give one quick announcement. There is still a little bit of space if you want to come to National Convention with us. And you don't have to be a coach to come. You can be just somebody who's curious or interested. But we're going to go to Austin, Texas, July 21st is when we're going to get there. It's a couple days, and it's all about health coaching and what our vision is and how we're going to help more Americans get healthy. They've been setting a lot of structure to give us better tools and resources. So there's still about 200 spaces left. If you would like to come, get with your coach, join us. We have rooms and everything reserved. We'll work that out where you're going to stay. Ladies stay with ladies, guys stay with guys. The rest is covered. Raise your hand and wave at me if you're going to go. All right, awesome. And keep waving if you're going to go maybe next year. All right, so let's see. Our mentor, Troy, do you think that we have everything covered?
I think we do.